innovation and forward thinking. And over the 13 years of experience in shaping product visions, seizing market opportunities, and nurturing product from inception to international success. His journey is a testament to incredible possibilities that lie in the intersection of technology and entrepreneurship as well. But this isn't just another webinar. It's a beacon of inspiration, a source of knowledge that can illuminate our own paths here at XNES as well. We're not just here to learn, we're here to dream bigger, think bolder, and explore uncharted territories of possibility as well. Now, as we embark on this adventure, remember that the insights that you gather here today can serve as the catalyst of transformative change within your own projects and also your teams. It's a chance to harness this incredible power of AI to elevate your product strategies and ultimately to enrich the lives of our users as well, which is the most important aspect. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare for this journey that promises not just knowledge, but the spark of inspiration. Nikita's experience and wisdom will be your compass as we explore this boundless frontiers of AI and product management. Now, as a quick reminder that you will see in the next slide or in this slide, in our ongoing commitment to seamless communication and collaboration, we've set up a dedicated Slack channels for all our brainstorm needs. You've got the brainstorm bot for education, notifications and queries that you might be able to find within this brainstorm bot as well. Maybe your answers will be answered there. Brainstorm support, the go-to place for assistance, troubleshooting, and brainstorming ideas. You've also got the security support, ensuring the safety of our brainstorm initiatives. And we also encourage you to report any security concerns that you may have under this, this channel here. But also don't forget to bookmark our brainstorm portal page as well, your one-stop destination for all the information and updates regarding brainstorm projects. So let's keep the ideas flowing, the information accessible. So ladies and gentlemen, together we're about to redefine what is possible. So everyone, please welcome Mr. Nikita Filipov.
Thank you, Andrew, for the great introduction. Thank you for having me. Quite surprised that you find me and kind of invited me to talk the topic that I quite into. So just a little bit kind of the standard slide of introduction of myself. So yeah, and why I'm here to talk about the AI in general. So basically, I'm not a kind of a PhD person, like I'm not a kind of a mathematician or something like that, but I kind of have a great connection with this type of approach from the very beginning. So I started my journey in the company called Bigun back in Russia. So it was a kind of a contextual ads company. Basically, there was a kind of a first time when I touched the algorithms that now we call machine learning, but that was a kind of the set of algorithms that we use to predict the interest of customers to put the right advertisement, which is a common sense now and the usual thing for our lives. And I think that the greatest invention across the internet, all this personalization, some of them are really good, some of them annoying, but personally, I believe that the best thing that we have from the internet. So I spent quite some time being a software process consultant. I've co-founded the company ScrumTrack back in Russia and spent some time on kind of educating myself and my clients on how to improve processes. The strongest part was the kind of product management processes, like Lean Startup and all the things. After some time, I just remember that I'm still interested in being product manager. After quite some time, I started some project with a big corporates back in Russia. and they were related to some degree of applying machine learning early, like 10 years ago or so. Like from 2013 to 2016, I've done a few products with big companies. One is related to the consumer market, but still close to the fintech world, called Sense, made by with Alpha Bank. Some of them was a kind of the small business initiatives. So I've done it from scratch with my team, like incorporating the different bits of the personalization using the machine learning, or the optimization of the operations using the machine learning. So yeah, I had a kind of a few tries to make the startups, and the last and the most successful thing so far is the company called Anomaly, which I will talk a little bit more just to bring a sense what we're doing, because this keynote relies on the experience from this company. So now I'm working as a CPO slash chief service designer slash operational guy who helps to run the business in general. But I'm taking care of the kind of the how we doing things in product wise. So before we start, I will go through the first kind of a short definitions just to clarify, because at the very beginning we started talking with people from Exness, and I said, like, yes, I do know a lot about the machine learning, but there was a kind of a question. Okay, we're not interested in machine learning. We are interested in the AI in general. So let's clarify what is what here, and so that we won't go further. So there are kind of two major concepts in the world. They call the narrow AI and general AI. One of those is kind of a like philosophical concept, and the one of those like very applicable. And what we have now in the world is most of the time it's the application of narrow AI or weak AI. Technically, it's not weak, but it's very segmented tools. So solving the precise problems like generating images, recognizing things, predicting X, predicting Y's, and so on. So, and when we talk about the AI, so we're basically most of the time talking about the application of this part, which is also known as a machine learning algorithm. So yeah, we definitely will go through the narrow AI things, and I will show kind of some bits how we implemented it and what benefits we've got in the product. And obviously, as a humanity, we're still chasing the general AI as a concept, but it's far, far away from here, I would say, my personal opinion. So another thing is to understand what is the product strategy. So I'm doing a lot on the talks about product strategy, and everybody asking is, what is it? So I clarify it as a simple definition, like that's the simplest route to continue to power the market with, or winning the market if you're running the new product. And there are kind of the most important things here, like every product strategy consists of the very three simple steps. It's hard to develop them, but still, it's a positioning. So the simple answer is that what is positioning is a kind of how your customer understands what are you doing. Like imagining the shelf in his brain, I would say. So if you, as a company or product, where do you live on what particular shelf? What is the category? Explaining how you can use the product from the customer perspective. product vision. It's your basically understanding or the statement to the world why you think that this problem or the set of tasks should be solved in the particular way, which basically means that you, through the time, you're trying to delight customers in a hard to copy, money enhancing way. And obviously, what we have to understand that any strategy, that's the kind of the basic definition of strategy. It's unfortunately not the fast thing. Like, it takes 3 to 5 years to reach the final goal. So when you start doing something, so the expertise of the product manager or the chief product officer is kind of to build a step-by-step, like 4-step plan to succeed with a particular approach. So when we're talking about product strategy and AI, most of the time, and what we will focus today is that how to kind of use AI to push to delight customers and hard to copy way, and slightly you can use it in the positioning as well. But I will show today the most important so that there are some questions. We will talk about the AI in terms of kind of how to create these attributes of strategy, which relates to the hard to copy thing. So there are a lot of kind of application of the ways of application AI in or machine learning those days. And if we can cluster it, basically help us to win the market, to get to know customers better and design or react or behave better, which is called the personalized experience. We can learn from data, enhancing the decision making, like predicting things and assuming that we have some data and we can predict what would be a next possible action or behavior for the customer, so that we can, in a good way, manipulate it for the benefits of the customer and the company. Sometimes we can kind of optimize experience, reducing unnecessary things on the go, and the simplest example would be we can adapt text depends on the customer behavior, knowing that this behavior related to the particular customer profile, so that we change in the tone of voice or something like that. And the most obvious thing, like replacing everything with robots, like physical or software cloud-based robots, which will do the job instead of people in the company. So most of companies, which I observed as advisor as well, so they most of the time using the machine learning as a separate division, which probably works for the sake of predicting some financial stuff, and that's the end of story. So what I'm trying to promote through the time is kind of start using the machine learning as a product design approach, so that customers can benefit, and then you can create some differentiation on the market because of the specific things that you are doing differently compared to your competitors. So basically all these things comparing to other companies, we embrace all these kind of 4 pillars of the AI in ANA. So basically, let me tell me what is ANA in a nutshell. So ANA is a business current account with an automated way of calculating tax and sorting your all financial admin for the small businesses. So, and every bit that we are doing, and there are kind of more links to see how it works, but probably you will have this presentation afterwards. All the things that we are doing, we try to kind of using the machine learning in every user experience to simplify the life of the customer. And there are some kind of, we are here for kind of 6 years. We based in the UK, we work on the UK market. And so what we've done so far, so basically the thing that you're probably familiar as well, according to your job. So there is a problem of customer onboarding in this world, understanding the customer, knowing that he is not the terrorist or the bad person. So so we build a like almost smooth and very fast customer onboarding using the dialogue-based interaction that managed by machine learning, questioning the customer depends on his answers, and that gives us a quite a good pile of pie to cover it all automatically. On the other hand, so we obviously have a kind of the classic business account functions. So in that sense, all the things that can help customer not to do a lot of things. For instance, like creating the payment, you just drop in the raw data, whatever you have, like copy pasting it, drop in the file or the contract. So based on this, we're creating the deal, the payment, or kind of the case for the compliance, so that customer do nothing in that case. On the other hand, and that was a kind of our customer value proposition. We said like, okay, so all the companies looks like the same in our area. So every business account, every bank says that they have XYZ, but what we're gonna do, we will declare the high level of customer experience and the customer support. So we stated that we will deal with a 24/7 customer support that always in the context of the customer business. So, and yeah, at the end of the day, so after 6 years of all these exercises, so we have about 20K customers per day that have an interaction with us via customer support, which is a private bank experience, I would say. So, and the customer never know who is talking with them, like the customer support or the AI bot. We have a kind of quite a good coverage, and the same with a very good experience, user experience and net promoting score serving customers. So they don't understand when the customer served by AI or customer experience team. So we have about 30,000 customers, businesses now, and we have about 30 people in customer support. So it is fast. We also using it for the compliance use, but we call it smart compliance. That means that we're trying to build the kind of the cumulative understanding what is the customer is, what is the behavior behind, not only kind of playing with the risk monitoring side. We try to understand the customer as a whole and see kind of joint profiles that help us to not punish some customers for their own things, understanding their business better. And obviously it's all powered on the other side. As I said, it made with a combination of AI and the still customer support, which harnesses the customer. So the personal banker or the customer experience agent, how we call it, have the back office, which enhanced with the same power functionality, which we use as a educational platform for our machine learning systems, and at the same time, kind of gathering and enhancing the customer support with the same power and of machine learning features that we've done. So based on that, like the there is a kind of a framework. I just want to kind of mention that there is a way to win the market and the focus on the particular thing to win the market in your product strategy. And there are a set of things. There is a kind of a good books about this. And what we've done in these things, like that's the thing that we call the hard to copy things. So we invested in the particular thing, like the power of process. So we're trying to kind of to reduce the influence of our customers with the customer support and vice versa, but without losing the quality. And that's the kind of the biggest thing here. And also we have at the end of the day, the automated accountant based on this, but we will talk about a little bit further, which gives us a ability to gradually win in the market via scale economies. So as more customers we have, the better for us, obviously, because we already trained to provide a high quality 24/7 service for them without enormous customer support that needs to be educated and so on and so on. So based on it, the question is either okay, can you do it without AI actually? So all of these things, like the delivering the banking functionality, delivering the bookkeeping functionality, anything, every tiny bit, can it be delivered without AI? And of course, yes. And there is a kind of a rational approach for that. There is a link where you can photo it, but I've made some kind of a decision tree to go through it quite in a rational way. So as a conclusion, the point is, if your behavior or the customer or your behavior as a company is quite predictable, so you basically say, no, it's easier to use good old let's code it, because there is no reason to use AI for the sake of AI. But when we're talking about the things like customers has to be constantly educated for something, and we have a repetitive activities, or it is some kind of an embarrassing experience, like calling every time to the customer or talking with him or absorbing the negativity of the bad service or something like that. So you think, oh, it's better to hand over it to AI, because bots they don't cry basically. And there is a kind of the mix, as I showed it as on the back office side, when it's a kind of a life critical things, or it's hard to explain, so you try to augment the experience. So you're still using the human as the center of the decision making, but still you're enhancing it, creating the exoskeleton for that. Okay, but that's the kind of one rational approach, and I hope that it will help for somebody here on the on this presentation room. But basically, from I'm a kind of a emotional, let's call it irrational person, so I try to envision things. I would like to fantasize. So for me, it's a kind of a great opportunity to win the market, to play with the retention and reducing costs at the same time. And when we're talking about customer retention, mostly about how we serve customers, how we treat them. So when we kind of agreed that we will go strategically through the AI as a strategy, like, okay, we can do everything in a very usual way, but we agreed to go the particular way. We will use it and embrace the old AI things that we have. And what we've got as a issues, okay, one good thing, we have a kind of a CPO and CEO, and CEO, by the way, wasn't kind of a big fan of this approach at the very beginning. But anyways, let's assume that everybody in the top management in agreement, but it's another exercise to promote. So that's not enough to kind of to start doing this. We start doing this, and we faced a few challenges here. So first of all, we start talking with data scientists and saying like, look, that's the great thing to do, but they don't see the reason to collaborate. Most of the time they saying like, okay, there is no potential for their work, for instance. Sometimes we kind of, and they saying like, okay, where's the data? They saying like, we don't have data. Okay, then come with the data. So we deliver the functionality, and product dev team delivers the functionality, and after that we come in with the existing data, and data science team or expert says that there is no reason or there is no opportunity. Okay. Another one thing. So when we're talking about data science like physically works in the past, because they working with a kind of already aggregated collected data, and it doesn't give you a possibility of, you know, to imagine things, to kind of introduce something, because from the data analysis, most of the time you can generate this let's call it thoughts or ideas, because they are based on the previous behavior, but you want to create a new behavior, and that's the problem as well. So sometimes there is a kind of the opposite thing. So data science team sees an opportunity, but it's not involved in the design, and the design with a capital D. I'm not talking about like just kind of UI, like this designing the process. And the UX is not considered the approach which can give a little bit more data for data science, and it's become a kind of a deprecation for this thing. And the last thing is obviously that there is I call it a kind of a crazy visionary way, like, hey, okay, I will invest everything in the data science, machine learning, whatever, and that's going to solve all problems. No, it won't. It takes time. It still needs the iterational approach, and when you go in that way, you have the classic waterfall issues. So you have a high expectations, but the reality is slightly different. So in that sense, there is a kind of equation. Okay, we want to go AI way. We think that there are some benefits, but what should be changed? So the first one, what we've done is kind of a inclusion, all data science representatives into the team. They are part of the team from the day zero. Okay, and there was a kind of the objection, like, okay, I'm happy to contribute, but what's the point? So what we've realized, that's the kind of before we will create a job for data scientists, we have to kind of dream big. We will have think of some kind of a possible future that is not enabled by current data. The second thing, to make it, so we have to have a deep collaboration with our designers to start designing things to provoke data so that we can start iterating on, can we use it? Like create an assumption on the data science side and influence the design so that we can do some uncomfortability for the users on the first two steps, let's say. So then we will optimize and get more benefits at scale so we can optimize delivery in general. All right, so sounds great, but how exactly it should work? So what we're doing, so basically we're setting the task, we start with a kind of a fantasizing thing, we're using the exercise called magic wand, when we assume in the states or outcomes, not a solution. So we're imagining, and I will show the example. So we design together and we're asking so-called magic questions. And from big idea, holding the big idea, we working backwards and setting the MVPs, not from the kind of a simplest way to deliver something, but kind of a taking the idea that we chasing through the time, maybe sometimes like 6-12 months from, and we constantly iterating with the interim proxy metrics or benefits that we're trying to achieve. So here's the kind of the classic example why it's so important. So first of all, so there was an exercise like, let's do the search for across the whole data that we have in the app, which is the basically transactions, invoices, some metadata, reports, whatever, everything that you want to find. So, and the great example was like, okay, so we need the search from the software developer's perspective is that, okay, so here's, you can see the kind of the mock-up of the design screen. This is how customer interacts. It's constant dialogue with the customer. So you can write some queries and they said, okay, let's do search. Okay, so we have search, the separate input for the search, quite a classic thing, right? We can go to the any messenger. It's like world standard of doing search because of the design and how engineers think, because it's a kind of a separate service, so that we will implement an extra user interface, then we will have hundreds of these elements, so customer will die in the user experience. So it would be not that great experience, so we will gain churn and so on, so on, so on. So what we've done. So we start with, as I said, started with the backwards all the time. So we're assuming that trying to create the experience that could be personalized for the customers. We set a few questions, and there is a set of questions that we've created to this search project. And there is a kind of a sequence that we're always doing, like we're trying to chase the kind of the best possible option for the customer. And after that, we're thinking if we will kind of achieve this state of the experience for the customer, we definitely will scale it and benefit from AI. So it's a very, like, let's say, conscious improvements and understanding that we are doing a little bit uncomfortable things at the very beginning to benefit from it through the time, and that's basically another definition of the strategy. So I'll bring some kind of links so that you can observe it. Starting backwards. So here's the kind of the ambitious statement. So you query Anna doesn't mean that you have a separate search, you just always query to the service. And the team defines what possible and the ideal way of working with it, and then try to slice it. So basically, that's the slightly different approach. So you start the most ambitious thing to test, and then slice it through the MVP. Because MVP narrows it to this simple, stupid way of doing things, which is the important part from the iterations and incremental delivery, but still it's very important from what kind of a point of view you start in this slicing. So in that sense, if you can see just an example because I'm short in time, so there are kind of things that we've agreed across the collective discussion between data science, user experience, product management, and engineers. So, okay, we want customer to have a kind of the one single window, like single input, which react differently. So let's start with it. Let's start with a kind of a small A/B shorted feature toggle, whatever way of delivering the feature, but it will start work as a desirable interaction from the very beginning. So in a one single input, we react differently. Here's the kind of the example of how we start slicing, and I will just show you for benefit of your future, because we've done it like years ago, and it's nothing to hide. You can go through this our kind of a classic planning board when we get in the data, when we thinking what the kind of the best possible solution could be, and so on. So while you're scanning and jumping to the while you're scanning and jumping through the working through the this mirror board. So the the point here is that we've created an experience. We started with a simple thing, like let's search obvious things like transactions, and let's provoke data. Let's do the all region input. Look for what customers actually searching for, and we're assuming that okay, that's the financial app. That's why they will search for the financial services, which is not. So you start see how they search it, and then when they don't find the necessary thing, it goes to the nice line like you didn't find what you wanted to find, so chat with us. So we start collecting the data. So we incorporate it in the data science mind, explaining why we need this and how to kind of to build a model which can consist of transactional data, things that the customer remember that they were querying for the particular chat with the customer support team, they were querying for the particular service. So the search started react on their behavior. So, and we just kind of start running the gather the data as long and as many as possible through the time. So it took some time like to collect the data, but we knew that okay, we will save it. We create the data provocation feature. We've had a harness with the customer support for some time, and when we were ready to implement the machine learning model that can kind of predicts what customer needs and what kind of intentions they have, we start the let's call it industrial way of implementation. So in that sense, you probably can think of us as a company that constantly creating a set of long-running experiments that we're not forgetting to track after the time, and then we start automating in a proper large-scale way. So back to the kind of the question. So do we need AI to do anything like X, Y, Z? And what should be changed? Back to this rational approach. We can go this way, but my understanding is when we're trying to kind of win the market, we're trying to be different, we try to surprise customer from the very beginning, and so on and so on. So in that sense, the question is to start working like from the liberal arts point of view. Can AI solve the problem in the unique way so that you can create this unique experience? And then scale it. That's the major question that I'm asking my product managers and designers and engineers before we go to the rational way of thinking. Sometimes we go into the basic functionality, but then we go into this level of questions again. So basically, to make it work, there are 3 steps, quite obvious, but like you have to know what to dream of, like you have to know what how to make it real, and not the most important, but the crucial part is the changes in organization. So first of all, how to start thinking in this way? Obviously, go through your kind of AI bots, or go through basic YouTube videos, or get a course, educate your designers, yourself, everybody. You can user experience guys can't embrace the solution because they don't know on what they can rely, and it takes time. It can be done naturally. It can be done naturally while you do other things. But if you want to kickstart everything, obviously everybody has to understand what the kind of 10 most obvious machine learning algorithms and benefits, which I believe you heard from the other from other keynote speeches. Well, an obvious thing is have a chat with your CPO, like start pitching, because everybody is so busy, and that's the kind of investment. I would say the second but most important thing is, if you design the idea from the very beginning like it should be work on the AI basis, but you are not ready to make it run efficiently, don't hide it. Start designing the product or the feature like you already have all the power of the AI. Don't hide it. Otherwise, when you will kind of have a product where you have a 100% working experience, and there are some magic bits, but they are hidden, so you can't say that they are working properly. So provoke data, and that's the important part between data science and UX designers. So your first releases focused on the how to make the customer create the necessary data so that we can use it in our machine learning models. And obvious thing that I already kind of repeated through the time, it's manually first. All the things that we are delivering to the market, we practicing in a very tiny amount. Basically, me personally, from time to time, serving the customers, see how they work, what they query, what they want, we push it manually, like 10 customers per week or something like that. You can process them manually. You understand the experience, then you go further. You create experience, then create data, then do machine learning and apply all AI that you can apply. So for this stage, don't set numerical goals. That's the important thing. Otherwise, you will kill it. Yeah, and you obviously heard it through this presentation. Basically, the must-have thing, data science, is a part of the team. The second part, data science, becomes the junior developer. That means that they are not great in the industrial engineering, but they can deploy their models and iterate on the assumptions that they are testing themselves. They involved in the product design, feature design. They not kind of a laser focus only on numbers. They have to see the whole.